So hello and welcome to Caboodle Textiles YouTube channel. So one of the most frequently asked questions is what are all the different types of fabric and what do they mean and what can we use them for? So we thought we'd do a short video on initially the main types of stretch fabrics and some examples and what you're looking for. So the first fabric that we're going to talk about this morning is cotton jersey. Cotton jersey is a great fabric that is usually described by how much cotton and how much lycra it's got in it. So the majority of cotton jersey that Caboodle Textiles sell is 95-5, which means 95% of it is cotton and 5% of it is lycra. So this toucan fabric is a great example of cotton jersey. It's really soft to touch, and you can see the print on the front of the fabric this way up, and then on the back it's plain. Now cotton jersey is can come in different weights, could be as low as 180 grams per square metre or as high as 240 to 260. And the weight gives you some idea of the sorts of things that you can use it for. So the majority of cotton jersey will work really well for t-shirts, very lightweight hoodies if it's at the heavier end of the spectrum. You can use it for harem trousers, leggings, skirts, dresses, and depending on the weight of the fabric, you might get something a little bit more sturdy or something a little bit more swishy if it's on the lighter end of the scale. This is also cotton jersey. This is a plain cotton jersey, and it is obvious that it has a right and a wrong side when you look at it, but the right side looks like you would expect from the right side of t-shirts and things that you'll have from ready-to-wear garments, but you'll notice that the back of this is still the same colour, and that's because the yarn is all dyed rather than printed on the top. So this is Caboodle Textiles Fuchsia Pink, and this is the 240 weight, and you can see it's got a really nice thickness, slightly less drape than the patterned fabric, which is a 220 weight, but the two will work really well together, and I'm going to use these two to coordinate with my next make. So again, this is a cotton jersey fabric, and this is a yarn dyed fabric. So even though it's got a pattern, it's described on the website as yarn dyed, and that's because the back of it, the yarn itself has been dyed, so the back of it and the front of it have both got the colour through it. This particular yarn dyed is a really good weight and will make excellent tops, dresses, skirts, and has a good stretch to it. When we talk about stretch, we'll often talk about two-way stretch and four-way stretch. So four-way stretch means you can pull it in this direction and this direction, and they've both got a really good stretch to them. We measure stretch in percentage, and that means how much extra it stretches and then recovers back to its original state. How you measure that is either by asking before you buy, and Caboodle Textiles Facebook page is a really good place to get more information if you want to check out something before you're going to buy it, but you can also measure it at home. So to measure stretch at home, what you need to do is have a ruler either in centimetres or inches, and if it's in inches, which my quilting ruler is, you're going to want 4 inches. What you're going to do is take a representative piece of fabric between your fingers that is 4 inches, and then you're going to stretch it as far as you can. So this fabric stretches to 7 inches, and that means that it's got 75% stretch. If it stretched from 4 inches to 6 inches, that would mean that it had 50% stretch. If it stretched from 4 to 5 inches, that would mean it had 25% stretch. And if it doubled and went all the way to 8 inches, then that would mean that it had 100% stretch. And that's how you can work that out. Okay, and different patterns will tell you how much stretch that you need. So harem trousers, for example, often only need 20% stretch. A lot of jumper patterns, if they've got a big wide head opening, will only need 20 to 30% stretch. Whereas a skin tight t-shirt or leggings are much more likely to ask for 40 to 50% stretch, and sometimes higher. It's really important that you get the stretch right for the pattern that you're making. So, outside of cotton jersey, then there's also the heavier weight fabrics. So this is French terry. You can see French terry is really great for making hoodies, jumpers, trousers. You can make hard wearing shorts out of it. Quite a lot of ready to wear stuff is made out of French terry once you get to know your fabrics. So the front of the French terry looks a lot like cotton jersey French terry. Some French terry will be very, very stretchy like this and very similar to cotton jersey. Some French terry is less stretchy. And if you've got a very specific pattern in mind, it's worth checking out the stretch before you buy. So the reason you can tell it's French terry is the back of the French terry has got these loops on that look a little bit like towel in some ways. And so that's called loop back. Okay, sometimes it gets referred to on other websites as loop back jersey, but it's French terry is its proper name. The advantages of this is it tends to be a little bit warmer. It's a little bit heavier weight. It's not super warm, but it's great for throw-on sweatshirts. And as I say, trousers, jogging bottoms, shorts, and those real kind of spring and autumn wears. Okay. Another kind of French terry is brushed back French terry, and this is like a hug in a fabric, in my opinion. So again, at the front of the fabric, it looks very much like the jersey, but when you come onto the back, you can see that instead of having the loop back, it's literally the fabric has been brushed, and that is what makes it super soft. Now, the thing with brushed back French terry is quite often it has a little bit less stretch because of the way the fabric's been brushed on the back, or it'll have just two-way stretch. So this fabric is very stretchy in this direction, but only has about 10% stretch in that direction. Okay. This is great for zip-up hoodies or for pyjama bottoms or harem trousers where the pattern doesn't need quite as much stretch. So looser fitting clothes, or where it's got an opening, buttons or a zip to compensate that it's not quite so stretchy. It is really soft, and the brush back means that it's lovely and warm. Next fabric I'm going to tell you about is alpine fleece. So this is my personal favourite type of fabric. It's what I love to make gifts out of. It feels to me like a cuddle in a fabric. So you'll see this again, the front of it looks remarkably like cotton jersey. You can get it in all sorts of patterns, all sorts of background. You'll often get a kind of mould or effect while there's different colours, flecks in the background. But the reason I love it is because it's got fleece on the inside. So sometimes this gets called alpine fleece, sometimes it gets called fleece back sweat. It is cosy and warm, quite heavyweight, but also has some stretch. So it's perfect for hoodies, jackets, lining, body warmers. You could also use it for harem trousers. You could use it for warm winter jogging bottoms. The world is your oyster. My particular favourite thing to do with this is to put kangaroo pockets with it on the front of hoodies, because if you imagine when you stick your hands inside that kangaroo pocket, the lovely soft fleece is just so cosy on your hands, and I've never made anything for anybody out of alpine fleece that they didn't absolutely love, and it's just that snuggliness of it which is so appealing. Finally, I'm just going to give you a brief talk about ribbing. Ribbing sometimes comes in big wide sheets, but often comes as tubular ribbing. So ribbing is really stretchy fabric which we use for cuffs, the bottom of sweatshirts, round the neck of t-shirts and t-shirt style dresses or skater dresses, sometimes used for arm cuffs of t-shirts as well. Comes in hundreds of different colours, and really gives a professional looking finish to your garment, although you can also use cotton jersey as cuffing material depending on the look that you're going for. So Caboodle Textiles tubular jersey is 70 centimetres in its whole circle, so you can see it's a tube. And the total of that comes to 70 centimetres. So if you're making an adult jumper, then you would usually need 2 pieces together and sew them together. It's super stretchy in this direction, like ready to wear ribbing, and it has a ribbed look to it, and that's what really gives you that professional look. You can cut it as part of the tube if you want longer pieces, sew together for really long pieces, but it's great for edging pockets, and as I said, neckbands. You will need to use slightly different measurements for ribbing versus cotton lycra, but your pattern will normally tell you what it recommends, and there's plenty of help available on the Caboodle Textiles Facebook page. I just wanted to mention this new product that Mel is selling at Caboodle Textiles, which is a much heavier weight, chunky ribbing, and that is going to be perfect for jumpers, sleeve cuffs, things where you really want to make a feature out of the rib itself. This is coming in plenty of different colours. It is heavier weight and thickness, but again that really good stretch, and comes in the tube that makes 70 centimetres, and you buy it by the width. So this is a 50 centimetre piece, so that's how it comes when you buy it. I hope that video has been helpful to you. If you do want any more information, as I mentioned, the Caboodle Textiles Facebook group is a really helpful place. There's plenty of information on the website of what all the different fabrics are when you're browsing, and the links to all the different fabrics are going to be found below the video. So thank you for watching. Please feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you're first to see all the new videos that we make. Bye!